get to that, and dry vermouth, and then your choice of garnish, which we'll get to, and the combination. So there's a quick little history lesson. Back in the day, we're talking 20s and 30s, there's such a thing called a perfect martini, or the original martini was a lot more vermouth, dry vermouth, come back to that, and gin. So it was almost 50-50. So if you don't like a dry martini, and someone doesn't know what they want, sometimes that can be a really good place to start. So it's half gin, half vermouth, which I'll get to. And as time went on, for whatever reason, the quality of the booze got better, that's kind of helpful. And so the ratio of vermouth to gin got thinner. So when I talk about a very dry martini, it's like a 1-to-10 ratio. So we're talking about a 60ml pour, by the way. So in a glass, it's kind of looking like that. It's about 1 centimetre from the top. Well, that's kind of where you need to aim. That's water, by the way. So just so you know where you stand. Okay, let's talk about vermouth. I'll take you through the ingredients and the different ways they're made. Dry vermouth, you can, if you've got Cinzano, probably not the best choice. It's too fruity. And the other thing about vermouth you need to know behind the bar is once it's open, it will go off. So if you've got something from 1979 behind the bar, run away. Yeah, so you want a dry French vermouth. There are some good Aussie ones. Regal Rogue is a good one, and there's one called Maiden Eye out of Victoria. That's very interesting, but it's got like a glossy lemon and eucalyptus, so it's a bit polarising. So these are the two I go to, and they're not expensive to get. So Nolly Prat, in the south of France, and Dolan, which is up near Dijon somewhere. The thing about the aromatic wines, so they will go off, like I said, about a month. You put them in the fridge, it's probably the best way, so you'll probably get 2 months out of them. So that's something, and they sort of vaguely just kind of go off wine, so they're not like fortified, they're aromatic. They've got herbs in them, that kind of works. There's the old joke about Winston Churchill during the war, because he was a big booze hound, right? He was a busy man, got, saving the world, free world. Because the French were making this and they would have, they were collaborating with the Germans, the Vichy part of France anyway, he would just look at the bottle and keep walking and go straight to the gin bottle. So it was just pure gin anyway. So vermouth, French vermouth ideally, but some of the Australian ones are quite fun to play with. Come back to that. Orange bitters is the secret ingredient. So again, there's a couple of different versions, but they're both Americans. What you want, Regan's and Fee Brothers. So it's, you got bitters, lemon lime bitters, same idea, but it's made of orange. Seville orange is usually, so it's quite intense. All you're going to need is a couple of drops. But it does really lift your martini, and you get a little thing like that. It looks great. Customers like to see it. Just a couple of drops at the end, and lifts up all the aromatics. It's a bit of a homeopathy. Trust me, it works. That's kind of fun. Then, of course, gin. So I don't know what your house pour might be, but the trick about martini gins is we've gone from what in Australia something like 6 gins in 10 years to like almost 250 now. So I get some of the stuff, the original gin. I'll talk you through all these in a minute. We're getting I get gins through every week. It's just nuts. We've got about almost 250 distillers in Australia now. You've got obviously Wild Brumby down the road here who do great stuff. And so it's just gone absolutely nuts. There's a bar in Singapore, you may have heard, called Atlas. That's a spectacular deco bar, and they've got like at least 1,800 gins on the bar. It takes a while to get your drink because they've got to go up 5 stories and find it. And it's just spectacular. It's amazing. Anyway, back to the story. So London Dry. You've got different types of gin. There's like Old Tom, which is a sweet version. Slow gin, which is made out of the berries, if you like. The London Dry is your number. And I'm not a snob about gin, and I mean that, like in terms of there's great stuff out there, but you're going to look for something that's got a Tanqueray's great, even Beefeater. You can make a really good martini out of Beefeater. Gordon's, not so much. Gin and tonic, but not really a martini gin. It's just too rich and too spicy. But that's okay. People got their own choice. So they're going to come up to you and go, I like a martini thing. So you go, well, how do you like it? And they're going to ask, well, how dry do you want it? What garnish do you want? And so forth. So I'll step you through those permutations. So let's make a drink. A couple of things you're going to need to do. Mixing glass. If you've got them, you're going to use these today. That's okay. The one thing that can kill martini is temperature. So it's got a life expectancy of about 15-20 minutes, if you'll discover. After that, it's just a glass of warm booze. Right? You want a good martini shouldn't taste like booze. This is the paradoxical thing about it. It should be crisp and elegant and sexy and all the stuff you think about when you have a martini, and you're not going to get that if it gets warm. So you want your mixer in the fridge at all times, and the professional bars will have several of these going all the whole time. Someone's run off my little mixer here. Nice by my little eye.
That's one of the olives.
Thank you. Just get rid of the water. So I've just kept this nice and chilled. I'll get this out of the way. It's good etiquette when you're making your drink to put the ingredients up on the bar so people can see what they're getting. So they've chosen Tanqueray. Now, I'll use Dolong. The difference between the two, just by the by, the Noni Prat is a bit more flavoursome, spicier and richer if you smelled it, and I invite you to do that later. It's quite aromatic and almost sultana in spice. Lovely. The French just drink it on ice as an aperitif, by the by. The Dolong is dry and a bit more whisky. It's just a matter of taste. So you put your ingredients up on the bar so that people can see what you're working with. Now, some bars, they will put the glass up and full of ice. So if you don't have, like these guys have done, put the glasses in the fridge, which is great if you can do it. The trick would be simply to put ice in there. So by the time you're making your cocktails ready, that's great. Crushed ice is ideal, but otherwise it's fine. Or you can just leave the glass in the fridge at the very last minute and then pour it through. Bottom line is you want your drink as cold as you possibly can make it. That's the key. So we've got our ice, we've got our chill glass, we've got our ingredients. I'll do it this way so you can all see. So I'm going for a 60ml pour, and I should measure, but I'm not because I've done this before a few times. So 1 to 10 ratio, so in a 60ml pour it might be 5 mils of vermouth. And then you'll be obviously 55 mils of your gin. And for me, that would be a count of about 6. We'll see how good I am.
So is that considered dry or?
Yeah, so this is going to be a very dry martini.
Okay. Because of more.
So less vermouth
Right.
equals the drier it is.
Okay.
So you can start at a perfect, like a 50-50, like 30 mils vermouth, 30 mils gin. You can do that way and scale it all the way back until something like this. Now, some bar people will put the vermouth in, stir around the ice and pour it out. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I think it's just a waste of vermouth. Just use less of it. I mean, you pay for it anyways. Now, stirring. Shake and stirring. Can we get this out of the way? All right. The reason you don't shake a martini, Mr. Bond's got lots of answers for, is the simple fact that you'll end up with flakes of ice in it. It's good out there, not so good in here. Right? You want the ice out there, but not in here. Because you want, again, the martini to be clear, crisp, and not flakes. Like, you don't want the Titanic crashing into it. Right? It happens. The worst martini I ever had in my life was in a W Hotel in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'd driven about 12 hours from across Texas to get there, right? Really swanky hotel, really expensive, and I wanted dry Tanqueray gin, stirred, not shaken. And they just shake everything, they just can't help themselves. And it turned up with no garnish, and it was just like a sea of ice, like a margarita. I went, what the? $25, thanks very much. Exactly. Okay, so I'm stirring it. Now, stirring's the thing, it's chilling down. Again, ideally, you might keep some of this, your house pour in the fridge, but it's okay if you don't. Yeah. If you've got your glass chilling, your mixer chilling, you've got lots of ice. Now, the stirring will do two things. Obviously, it's going to chill your martini, but it also dilutes it just a bit. Often you have those martinis that hit you over the head because it's pure alcohol. The problem is that they haven't diluted. It's just enough to open up the flavours in the alcohol, or the botanicals as you'll try some of these. So that'll soften it, but obviously you don't want it to such a point that. So I've done about 42 times. 3 teams for the Holy Trinity of gin, vermouth, and the garnish. There you go. All right. So by now that should be nice and cold. Now for garnishes. I've prepped these for you, so it's kind of good to go. So you can have obviously a classic olive, always an odd number, just for luck, so 1 or 3. It doesn't matter if they're pitted or big plump Sicilian or Viso XL Retro, the pimento, that's really old school, that's fine too. Probably not the anchovy ones, definitely not the blue cheese. Unless they're Americans, they love that. If you're really, really edgy, and I know Adrian loves these now, he went to one of my things, and cocktail onions. This is the only thing in life they're good for. In the supermarket, you always wonder what the jar was for. If you ever want to watch Mad Men, a series about advertising in New York City, there's a character called Roger Sterling, one of the partners in the firm, and he drinks these. These are Gibson Martinis. So it's basically the same as I'm describing to you, but instead of an olive, you put a cocktail onion in it. So it's really savoury and intense, great, once you get the hang of it. Or of course a lemon. Now I've cheated here, and I've done this before just to save you guys some time, so you're not cutting. In the real world, what I mean, I'll come back to that, get rid of the ice. Your glasses will be nice and chill when you're making this, by the way. Obviously I want not too much water in this, or hardly any. Strainer. Bit of showmanship here. see how good my free pour is. Shall we test it? Just saying. Thank you. That's all right. Now, it doesn't really matter if you put your garnish in before or after. If you did a lemon twist, nice fresh lemon, you're going to do it fresh for the customer. So, slice it down, and you're going to want a nice clean. I'm crap with doing fancy twists, I would confess, but a nice big zest. I don't like it too big, and then to express the rinds, you just want to be the oil. So you just squeeze it. You might see a little aromatic spray of the oil, and whack it in. You can do it that way, or put it on a garnish, or however you want to do it. And that, my friend, is a nice dry gin. Oh, but I can also do, if I really wanted to, just a couple of drops. Voila! Easy as that. Who wants to try? Who wants a free? Now, you should introduce yourself and your friend here, because these are some posse from Canberra have come
We
all this
came
way,
all the way
especially.
from Canberra because we got to experience his wonderful martinis at a masquerade ball earlier this year. It ended well. We don't remember how it ended, but it ended well. So we decided to come again.
All right, so please, taste test. Tell me what you think. And I'm happy to take any questions too in a second.
Oh, that's all kinds of heaven.
It's all kind of heaven. Tricky. How would you describe that, by the way?
You can actually taste the lemon quite strongly, which is amazing because I only saw a little bit of the zest going in. But the chill means that it's not overpowering, and this is my favourite.
Yep, good old-fashioned Tanqueray. It's a nice neutral palate. You can't go too wrong. And it's cheap. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So I get to take it.
You get to take it. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. So any questions about